Hello lovely people, it's Hila here, Saturday Night Stitch, and thank you so much for tuning in. Today's post we are going to be joining along in an afternoon clubbing session, and along the way we're going to talk about some of the DIY sewing makes. Let's dive straight into it. So we're going to start off with Burda 9-2020 number 107. This is such a lovely classic dress that I made in a rayon chalice. It's a Lady McElroy rayon chalice. I went a little bit outside my comfort zone with the colors of this dress. And let me tell you, I am glad that my little sister has been living with me and kind of giving me ideas to try out different color tones. So I'm showing you right there that I added pockets to this dress. The actual original pattern doesn't have any pockets, but for me pockets are everything. And as you can see, this dress has got a very wide wrap over section. So the left front and the right front are exactly similar. And that's how you create the faux wrap front, and it has an elasticated waist to give it the shaping. When I wear this dress, I like to wear it belted sometimes just to give it a little bit of an extra va-va-voom. And I love this dress. It's got a facing round the front. I did some stay taping because it's a rayon chalice, so it's a very lightweight fabric, and you want to make sure that it doesn't stretch out, especially along the bias. I do have a blog post which has got a lot of informative tips about how to sew this pattern, because there is a time-saving tip when it comes to tracing out the front and the back skirt pattern pieces. I sewed my usual size 38, by the way, for Burda, and I do find that the size was perfect and pretty much spot on, exactly how I expected based on the imagery. I do have one little beefs with this particular dress though, and that's the fact that those sleeves are super narrow. They're really quite narrow and I can't roll them up. So the next time I make it, I will make them a little bit wider. The next sewing project is yet another Burda, yet another September issue, but this time we're going way back to 2012, and this is a shift dress that I have a lot of love for. So first of all, let's talk about the fabric, because that's what decided what this project was going to be. This is the most amazing Ponte fabric that I have ever come across. It is so beautifully stable and it is extra thick, and this would totally be suitable to use on woven pattern fabrics as well. So one of the biggest changes that I made to this dress was that I didn't bother with the zip, because it is a Ponte fabric. It does have some stretch to it, so I didn't think that it needed to have a zip. I love the boat necklines. Basically, you put a boat neckline on a pattern and you've got me. The sleeves are bracelet length or elbow length sleeve, and those French darts in the front, oh my gosh, so amazing. And this has been such a great little number that I wore a lot during the winter, especially layered over a turtleneck. And I'm showing you there how deep those French darts are. I finished off the boat neckline with a facing. I didn't bother interfacing the Ponte because it is actually so very stable. I highly recommend this fabric, and I'll definitely be getting more of this fabric to actually make some trousers and skirts as well. And all the way from my UFO box is Burda 1 2019 number 114. I'm ashamed to say that this dress has been sitting in an unfinished state for well over 2 years now, but I'm so glad that I actually finished it. It's a really sweet, comfortable sort of dress. I used a Lady McElroy viscose jersey, so this is super comfortable, because as you know, viscose jersey is like quite stretchy, but at the same time you get a really good quality color fastness with them, so it's a very comfortable make. I was attracted to this pattern because of that empire line bust and the gathering at the back. I have to say that I think that I could have done a bit more gathering on the back there to give it a bit more shaping, but it's still a really nice dress that I can wear during the day when I want to feel just a little bit more put together. The V neckline is incredibly flattering and I love how it looks, and that's one of the reasons why I would probably make this dress again. I skipped out on putting on the ornamental buttons down the center front bodice because they're ornamental, not really useful, but it's a really beautiful dress that came together quite easily once I stopped being lazy and actually got it out of the UFO box. If I were to make it again, which I think I will do, I would definitely make the elastic around that waistband a little bit shorter to give it more gatherings, so it has got more shaping at the waist, particularly for the style of fabric that I used, which has got a lot of stretch to it. We've got some more vintage Burda for you. It's Burda 7 2006, number 115. Okay, it goes without saying, I love this dress. This dress is so zany and so colorful. It takes me back to a carefree time in my life, and I just love how I feel in it. I love how the fabric moves, and definitely this project was driven by the fabric. So the fabric is a new to me company called Dashwood Studios, and this is a rayon fabric, which is so incredibly swishy and has a beautiful drape to it. This is a Burda pattern. I traced my usual size 38. I decided to skip on making that extra long center front button placket because it's not a lot of fun and I didn't think that it was necessary, so I just did it on the bodice and I made the skirt out of 2 rectangular pattern pieces and just gathered them together. I'm just getting a little bit dizzy there because music is loud and I'm going a little bit crazy. I love the look and feel of this dress. It's got an 80s vibe for me, and it just reminds me of the 80s, and even the colors of the fabric, because I decided to go with the contrasting fabric. So we've got the black on the top and the berry color at the bottom. I added pockets because pockets are everything. So sewing this was not fun, I'll be perfectly honest with you, because rayon challis is very slippery and very lightweight, and this pattern has got 6 dots at the front and it has got 5 dots at the back to give it the shaping that it does have. So that wasn't a lot of fun, but it was so totally, absolutely worth it. So that's Burda 7 2006, number 115. Up next, we're going to go way back in time, all the way to Burda, July 1976, and this is style number 8203, which is a absolutely lovely 70s style type dress that has got some grown on kimono sleeves. It has a dainty little square neckline, and I have to say this is the first time that a square neckline has worked on me, and I couldn't be happier. So the key thing with this particular project was the fabric. So ever since I started collecting vintage magazines, I have been dying to make a 70s style dress, but I needed the perfect fabric for it. So when I saw these Stores London cotton lawn fabrics, which are available on Minerva, I knew the moment I saw this particular fabric that this was going to be a 70s style dress. So here we are. I sewed it up in the Burda size 38 that corresponds with my bust, hip, waist measurements. And I'm glad to say that the Burda sizing, even from 1976, still fits me just as I would expect, and I made no pattern alterations at all. So I think it's safe to say that we are going to be seeing a lot more vintage makes from me in 2021. So for the contrasting, I actually used a Liberty Tanner lawn. I spent ages trying to find something that would suit this, and I wanted something that had that 70s folkloric vibe to it. I didn't have a lot of the fabric. I only got a fat quarter, and so I just sort of sewed it over the top of the belt so that it added some more contrasting. And for the cuffs as well, I decided to add it onto there. One thing I really like about side seam belt, apart from the option that they give you to add shaping as and when you want to, if you pair them with side seam pockets, you can kind of tuck them into the pockets if you want something that's a little bit looser feeling. So this dress has got a center back zipper, and I used an invisible zipper which went in beautifully. I used a lightweight interfacing because cotton lawn is beautiful and lightweight, and you want to maintain that crispness. I love this dress. My only regret is that I finished it before summer, so I haven't had many opportunities to wear it. But I cannot wait for spring summer to come around this time, and I will be wearing it a lot. And by the way, I did do a browse through of this particular magazine issue, which you can check out. I'll put the link in the description box down below. Okay guys, we're gonna stop it here for now. I will catch you over in part 2, where we're gonna find some more macaws and grasser sewing patterns. I hope that you've enjoyed this first part, which has got the Burda dresses, and if you did, do give the video a big thumbs up down below. If you haven't already, do subscribe. I just do a lot of crazy sewing stuff and dancing. Until I see you in part 2, happy sewing!